Now for our feature story of the day, let's discuss the latest from Samson Mow. He says, I think this year we hit 1 million. And I agree. It's definitely doable. Let's leave it at that and let's discuss it. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. You can see the headline here and also some of the other headlines. 1 million Bitcoin advocate Samson Mow likens Bitcoin ETFs to Matrix's Neo. The one. How many of you feeling like the one right now? Holla. And this headline reads 1 million Bitcoin advocate Samson Mow names key Bitcoin indicator to watch. So we're going to be discussing this as well as this recent tweet he shared. Weak-handed sellers are decreasing. Diamond-handed Bitcoin hodlers are increasing. This is the key indicator to watch. So let's break all this baby down right now and shout out to Samson Mow, founder of Jan 3. So here we go. Samson Mow reminded his army of followers about the scene in the Matrix when Neo dives into Agent Smith and the machine explodes, with Neo emerging, choosing another agent to destroy in the same manner. He compared it to the current situation of the market where Bitcoin has dived into the legacy financial system using spot ETFs, and they are working now inside it. Mow did not offer any particular outcome, just saying that he is watching this exciting show very attentively, wondering what will happen next and whether Bitcoin ETFs will succeed in transforming the traditional financial system. Yeah, I mean, as he shared here, in the Matrix, when Neo dives into Agent Smith with the ETFs, Bitcoin is now inside the legacy financial system. I wonder what happens next. That's right. The overall feel of his tweet in the previous post he shared hints that he expects Bitcoin to change the legacy system forever, Laura. Now, Mow has a strong belief that Bitcoin will definitely reach $1 million in the near future, and the recently launched spot ETFs are bringing that victorious moment closer. Can you say triumphant victory? Now let's get more detailed into the actual prediction of Bitcoin hitting $1 million. So let's break it down. Ex-Blockstream Chief Strategy Officer Samson Mow predicts Bitcoin hitting $1 million by 2025, stating in a recent interview what Bitcoin did with Peter McCormick. He said, I think this year we hit $1 million, if not this year, then next year, but it is coming very soon. Mow pointed out the demand for Bitcoin significantly outpacing supply, with ETFs alone pulling in around 3,500 to 4,000 biddies per day, which is roughly 1.4 million Bitcoin per year. And while exchanges hold approximately 2.2 million Bitcoins, he believes this will rapidly drain the pool of available Bitcoins. That's right. We call that a supply shock. And CryptoQuant founder predicts within 12 months we get that supply shock. Now, additionally, Mow introduced the concept of the Veblen effect, which I have shared here on the show, suggesting that Bitcoin becomes more valuable. It also will become more desirable due to its perceived value. We call this FOMO, family, fear of missing out. He believes that once Bitcoin reaches parity with gold's market cap, estimated at $450,000 to $500,000 per Bitcoin, it'll cross a crucial threshold and begin to demonetize gold. Quoting him here from the interview, once you cross that Veblen threshold, you start to demonetize gold, because now this thing is gold. It's multi-trillion dollars. We are already trillion, but like 8 to 12 trillion dollar market cap, he explained. Then you start to eat into gold because people see it as equivalent to gold. It is the new gold. Now, he anticipates that media narratives will support this notion, further driving the shift from gold to Bitcoin. His prediction comes at a time when institutional interest in Bitcoin is at an all-time high, with major corporations and financial institutions adding the crypto to their balance sheet. The upcoming Bitcoin halving will reduce the mining reward. As we know, there's currently 900 Bitcoins awarded per day to the miners. That's about to get chopped in half, the 450. And in a recent thread, Samson shared his thoughts on the potential approval of an Ethereum ETF by the SEC. He believes that regardless of the outcome, both approval and rejection scenarios are mega bearish for Ether. Mow argues that the SEC has footgunned themselves by approving Ether futures alongside Bitcoin futures, which rationally necessitates the approval of an ETH spot ETF for the same reason as for the Bitcoin one. Quoting him here, Ethereum ETF approvals are further complicated by the staking. What kind of commodity generates a yield? What kind of commodity ETF prints 70% of its new supply out of thin air? What kind of commodity ETF tweaks its own monetary policy at will? And these are all very valid questions. How many of you watched the recent ETHgate video put out by James O'Keefe? I highly encourage you to check it out. I retweeted it over on X. Now, Mao questions the nature of a commodity that generates a yield, printing 70% of the supply out of air, and tweaks its own monetary policy at will. And additionally, Mao believes that the current price appreciation of Ethereum is purely speculative, driven by crypto traders and Ethereum insiders hoping for the ETF approval rather than genuine capital inflows. He predicts that if an Ethereum spot ETF is not approved, speculators will sell, and while if it is approved, existing hodlers will sell, and no one will buy due to the ETF's structurally defective nature, as it would not provide staking yields and would incur management fees, resulting in an automatic loss of 5 to 6% per year for the ETF shareholders. So there you have it. Crypto fam, let me know your thoughts on his 1 million price prediction for this peak. And do you think we hit the cycle peak this year in 2024, or will it be the following year in 2025? Now, some of the factors drastically different for this cycle in particular versus the previous three that come before us. As I pointed out earlier, this is the first time in Bitcoin history the halving is not being driven by retail. However, institutional FOMO, something which did not exist previous cycles. Also, another thing that stands out, for the first time in Bitcoin history, we broke the previous all-time high pre-halving. That's right. We broke 69,000, which was the current all-time high since November 10th of 2021, a few weeks ago, when we tapped 70,000, and then we broke it again, eventually tapped 73,800, which is the current all-time high. So does that mean all previous models are broken, and unlike the previous cycles, maybe we have a super cycle, maybe we witness hyper Bitcoinization, maybe the dollar suffers from hyperinflation, maybe there's some black swans I'm not even considering right now that can play a role or effect? Just like last year, we had the regional banking crisis, which drove Bitcoin parabolic first quarter of the year. There are still banking crises going on right now, which have not been fixed. I think people are losing trust in the legacy financial system. They're not trusting bankers, let alone politicians and all these corrupt mofos that are put in front of them. We all know that corruption is from the top down. We recognize that with the Jamie Dimons of the world, JP Morgan Chase, bashing the Bitcoin. Remember, let's not forget, Larry Fink a few years ago once called Bitcoin an index for money laundering. Today, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager in the world, in which Mr. Lawrence Fink is the CEO, they have 260,000 Bitcoin. They acquired more Bitcoin in the past less than 3 months than it took MicroStrategy 4 years to achieve. This is the institutional FOMO playing out in real time. Earlier in the show, I shared breaking news. China launching ETFs out of Hong Kong. Big news. There's big money, and a lot of the big money is looking to park itself into the apex predator for obvious reasons, right? It's a hedge against inflation, a hedge against deflation. It's a hedge against corrupt politicians. It's perfect money. It's pristine collateral. It's incorruptible. It's un-F-wittable, it's unconfiscatable. It's the king for a reason. And as we continue to eat away at the gold market cap, you already know what's going to happen. Before you know it, $400,000, $500,000 Bitcoin price, my projection for this particular cycle. And hey, take it with a grain of salt, because I am not Nostradamus. I am just an entertainment-based podcaster who speaks his opinion, right? And speaks very openly about it. I can foresee bear scenario, Bitcoin smashing 222,000 this cycle. I can see a bull scenario, Bitcoin smashing $750,000 per coin this cycle. But I want to know your thoughts. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to take us leading into the halving in roughly 9 freaking days? Where are we going to be? And where are we going to be post-halving? Where are we going to be by the end of the year? Where are we going to be for this cycle peak? Where are you going to be? Hopefully watching this stream, because I'm going to be documenting every single day price action here during this bull, just like we did during the bear. I'm not here for, just a quick time of fun together. I'm here for the long haul. We've been through hell together, right? We've corrected from 69,000 down to 15,000. We maintained our optimism. We've been preaching the truth. I've been preaching the holy gospel of Satoshi, regardless if we're up, regardless if we're down, because this is bigger than perfect money. This is bigger than what we just see on the screen with 1 Bitcoin equivalent to roughly 72,000. This is freedom for humanity. And what Bitcoin represents for the future of the human race, you can't put a price on. Hence, Bitcoin is priceless. Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom and corruption has no end. Hence, Bitcoin for the win. Can I get an amen? And with that being shared, fam, where's Bitcoin price action likely to take us next? Holla.